step forward if you wish to give us statements.
Hi. He gave me a deal. Him with Lady Winter for Benjamin Marmon's head, and I'll take Winterfell. What's the deal? Sadly, I had feelings for Benjamin, and I couldn't go out through it. That's all.
I mean, it could be true. Possibly.
Order your this man says that you ordered him for the assassination attempt.
And like I said, I have not done such a thing.
Was there any witnesses to this conversation, Sir Knight?
That's what we need, witnesses.
No, it was just me. He only spoke to me.
So that's the one. Like, if we had pure evidence on that, then I reckon that he would be done with.
We have heard. Myself, the Maester Hinderroy. Perhaps we should retire somewhere quiet, where we can talk about this. We are just going over the same thing. All of this information can be passed to you via the Maester, Charlie, or Hinderroy, asking the same questions again and again. We have heard all of this material before. I am pretty sure your son is very capable of dealing with it, and he can pass the information on to you.
This does need to sort of wrap up, I think.
I'm pretty sure by now has a very numb bottom. We have been sitting in his room for over an hour, some even longer. And the poor man in front of us is still dealing with the idea of his fate. Do you understand that I am overstepping my bounds, sire? That this information can be given to you by the Maester, Charlie, and Hinderroy. We will deem no further information from these people.
Very well. We'll retire for 15 minutes while I get back briefed. Before we go, anybody that has not brought any information on any of these allegations, step forward now and give it before I retire. And come back and we will conclude this trial.
Your Highness, I believe Storm's End has not gotten its chance to speak on Lord Igor's behalf.
Very well, speak.
I am Titus Aceville. I am the acting head knight representative for Storm's End. I wish to speak in behalf of Lord Igor's character. Myself, I have been the only acting knight, and Storm's End itself has, in many situations, been in need of outside help, and one of the only kingdoms to consistently come to our aid would be the Vale, with Lord Igor willingly bringing his own men whenever we had need for outside help. As well as for myself, his very knights were brought forth when I had issues dealing with specific artifacts in the past. They diligently stood beside me and helped me seek the treatment I needed in that situation. And on behalf of the stewards, Wolf specifically, Wolf and Shield, one of the stewards, he believes and speaks very highly of Lord Igor, and in all rights we have had no ill will or sensed any ill harm of his character. Thank you very much.
Very well. We will retire shortly.
I would like to say something.
I would prefer you not,
Chaz. I would like to say something.
Chaz,
Quiet.
I would prefer
Let the man come forward.
My Majesty, I would
I will
first like
I
to
will
say
say it
he is
for you.
here
speak
under.
again.
I am not supposed to be here, is what Titus is going to tell you. I am not a steward of Storm's Inn, nor am I anything more than a knight. But what I'm about to tell you, I think is important.
Who has told
Titus
you you're
said-
not supposed to be here? One moment. Who told you you weren't supposed to be here?
We were trying to keep this closed. Every man and every person was showing up, Your Grace. We tried to keep it as stewards and people that we'd actually called for. All other members were
Very
asked to leave.
And he
I
chose
would like to say
stay.
something. On behalf of what Titus said about Igor sending men to Storm's Inn, Igor only did that for his own personal reasons. After I was recalled for leaving the Vale the first time, he asked me to go back so he could have an inside man inside of Storm's Inn. That is all.
He sent you.
Sire,
He
I
sent.
remember this gentleman, I think. Sir, are you not the man that came to the keep a few days ago?
Yes, I am
You
that
sat
man.
across from Charlie and I, and you yourself said that you were planning to murder Lord Igor.
That is correct.
Well, I've heard enough. All knights in the room, regardless of faith of house, you are now under my charge, and my charge alone. You will stand watch over Lord Igor. He is permitted to get drink and food, and will return back to this seat. March here, and Sir Thorin will be ahead of you. Any transgressions against this man, you will be arrested and I will try you for treason. Is that understood?
Understood.
Very well.
Understood.
Everybody else is permitted to leave and come back in 10 minutes so you can get food, stretch your legs, and grab water. And then you'll be permitted back into this room once I have returned. Please make sure everybody exits the room with the exception of Lord Igor, unless he needs food or drink.
Would you bloody well stop talking?
Hello, Thanos.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again today. I'm sorry it's not
very
under
good to
better
see you.
circumstances.
Perhaps we should go down to Hinderal's area so that we aren't overheard. I'm assuming that.
My neck is driving me insane. This is so annoying.
You're right, Charlie.
And there any of
Yeah,
these
right.
allegations, is there any substantial proof that was brought forward that we can use to
Through my
pass
notes.
justice?
Well, only really the one against Davis. All the rest is just what someone said and people have heard, really. No witnesses. Like with the thing with Benjamin, there's really no witnesses other than the knight and Igor himself.
There are far too many personal feelings being discussed here today. There is no substantial evidence. The only one that does raise interest is the one against Lord Davis, and the only one of possible proof.
So, as of right now, the actions of Lord Igor does prove that he is not fit to rule. Yes, his methods against Jay was a bit harsh and out of line. but a lord makes decision when laws are broken within his castle. And I think the rest of the houses get that punishment must equal the crime. And hopefully they heed my warning if something does happen within their walls, and they do at least notify us before a judgment is passed.
If I may
Grace,
speak.
this reminds me of something. When I was a child growing on the Iron Island, I now got blamed for everything. Everybody was talking about it. There was things that were discussed that had not been done. And that is exactly what this feels like. Every kingdom decides that they have issues with Lord Igor because someone says that they have issues. And that is exactly what this feels like.
Oh. From what I see, the sightings on this are going this way. Ourselves and the Iron Islands are fairly neutral and, in all honesty, don't look like they could give half a shit about it. Storm's End will support the Vale, and Winterfell and Casterly will be against them. In all honesty, I think a man either needs to be executed or sent to the wall today. We must put our foot down and show that we are going to be firm. We have enough evidence to prove that he had planned to assassinate Davis and that he was going to enact the plan. For that, the man will suffer the punishment. That is my opinion.
I agree with that.
And I do agree as well. If he had an issue with Lord Davis, he should have came and discussed it with us. Regardless of... Yes.
Lord Igor did come to us when this whole Lord Davis and Lord Igor thing took start. And you did give him your word that he should stand down and that you would resolve the problem. However, shortly after that conversation between you, I, and Lord Igor, the supposed assassination attempt was plotted. So therefore, Lord Igor did go against your word, and your judgment, and your direction. That is all.
My last comment on this is that we forbid trial combat, as I do believe it is fairly ineffective at judging the truth. The man should be executed or sent to the wall. There should be options.
I'm gonna show him leniency. But the punishment and the fact that he planned to assassinate another lord and would have done so if his plans weren't interrupted. And the fact that he did not come to us prior until we showed up at the Vale to discuss these matters with him. And quite frankly, his character while I visited the Vale was not that of a friendly nature. I understand that he was upset because his plans were thwarted. The fact that I had come to him to speak to him about it. But the fault I still recognize and will come into play. Now, the validity between vengeance and these assassins and spies going which way in the other, I don't care. We have spies in places. They have spies here. They have spies there. Everybody has spies because information is the true currency of this realm, and I don't care. Our measures that we go to protect our secrets will thwart any of our information coming out. Now, if they do have spies, so be it. That's the way this realm works. But Igor's character is coming into question, and I do believe that he is not fit to rule. The same reason why he once wanted to kill Davis. but I witnessed firsthand of Davis's men and his citizens' loyalty. And this whole situation arises from his belief that Lord Davis had the same issue. And the information that I have on the regards of what happened at Storm's End and the individuals that were questioning Lord Davis's leadership was a small percentage of the actual people that reside in Castle Rock. A discussion with Lord Igor would have gave him this information and my opinion on the matter, and it would have stopped there. We were not afforded that ability to share our thoughts on the matter. And that is and does directly reflect on Lord Igor himself.
So, Messiah, when you say leniency, what exactly does that mean?
He will not be executed. He will be stripped of his titles, and he will be escorted to the wall.
Your Grace, if I may speak.
Of course.
In this situation, we need to show our fist. If we show leniency, the other lords and ladies will see it as weakness. We cannot show that at this point. We can offer the man an ultimatum. He can either die or go to the wall. That is the only thing that we can do. If we do less, then we risk rebellion from the other kingdoms. If one man must die to quell other problems, then that's for the best.
Is anybody else in agreement with that?
Agree. Yes. My
Charlie?
concern, Sire, is that
I agree.
In the wrong.
Yeah, I guess. I was also saying, if he does request trial by combat, it'll be also an easier way of dealing with his death.
I believe. Denying trial by combat, I don't believe that it is a suitable way to deal with things. All it shows is that one man can swing a sword a bit better and maybe was lucky.
No,
It's
well,
not a good way to deal with things.
if he dies by that way, then he still dies.
But if he
who
wins,
would
then
fight
we have
him?
another big problem on our hand.
I'm sure March can do. She's a pretty decent fighter from what I hear.
And if she fails and we lose a knight.
I doubt she'll lose to him.
this is not a man that should have the convenience of trial by combat.
Well, I'm not saying we offer it to
Who
him.
passed this law? Who passed this law originally? But it did not come from my mouth.
What law?
I believe if he requests it, we should deny it. Stating that we have rescinded the right to trial by combat as we do not believe it is a fair form of government. Would you agree?
I do.
Very well, alright.
He will have his choice. Very well. Let's go past judgment on Lord Igor.
Are you alright, Charlie?
I'll be alright.
Up you go then.
I'm trying. I gotta. Sorry, Nick. Can you just knock me out and drag me?
No.
There it goes.
That is
We
rather
asked
visiting
him
of Prince.
to go there. We asked him to
Sire,
keep an eye on things.
Yes, Naya.
if I may,
I fucking
before we
love
go
the
out,
King of the
please.
Iron Islands, and I fucking love the Queen. And I'm sure Davis agrees.
I think it would be best if you suggest that all the information here should not be acted upon outside of these walls. I saw how they circled that man.
I wish you could be awake for this.
All the information given
Perhaps
here
he'd be a
was
little
for the
bit
trial
better
of
with
Lord
his tongue
Igor,
than
not
I
for
am.
the trial of any of the men that are out there.
That's why.
Because this feeling I hear her talking.
Very
Some
well.
people who leave here today may not be safe. They cause
I have an
real
idea for that
trouble.
as well.
I feel like the fact that he isn't allowed trial by combat is a little bit stupid, because the only crime that he has full evidence of committing is the one against Jay, which can be very debatable because he did commit a crime. Obviously, it could have been handled better. The only other crime that he has got is obviously trying to plot to assassinate Lord Davis. There's no significant evidence against him trying to kill Benjen. So really, he's only committed one crime. Is the plot to kill Lord Davis.
Something tells me I'll be in the mood for the fight.
So I don't completely agree with the fact
Don't think we've ever brawled, actually.
that
Should be fun.
he should be just given pretty much the wall or killed.
That's okay, Jump. Hang in there.
And also, I think that the fact that I think that it should be in these events, trial by combat should be something that can be forced as a rule on the server, because it gives people a chance to free themselves. Obviously, I don't know. In some cases, maybe not if they're like pretty serious and that we have loads of evidence against. But I don't know.
I have one. Would either of you like?
I feel like in this case he should be, if he wants trial by combat, he should be allowed to do it. If he wants it.
Give me water.
If all seats could be taken and silence be had, thank you.
Judgment has been discussed and will be passed on the allegations brought
Like
forth
he shouldn't be a lord
to this
anymore.
trial
That's at least the fact. He shouldn't be a
against
lord for what he's crimes.
Igor of the Vale. Before I proceed, there's one thing that I will get across. Any and all information, character statements,
Because
and
another
opinions
thing with what
that
the
were
Mason
brought in
sent, that
front
we
of
should show
myself
like
during this
show that
trial
we have like an iron fist,
will remain
you know.
as part of this trial.
Most likely on this server, that would be seen as being a
is
tyrant.
acted
It would.
upon in regards to your house.
Because if
or your
you're,
opinion
there's
on
no
anybody
better option.
that
If you go,
spoke out
if you try and
during
be
this time
tough
is
and cruel, you'll be seen as a
an
tyrant.
act of
If you
treason
try and
against
be
this
a bit
realm.
lenient and weak,
And
you will be seen as a
tried
weak. You know, it's
as
you can't
such.
make. There's no in between. It's hard. It's a hard choice.
Do not tempt me. Heed my warning, and that will be all on the matter and anything discussed within this room. The Knights of King's Landing form a semicircle around Lord Igor to pass judgment.
Not sure about this. This seems a bit
Lord Igor
shady. I guess I don't know. They should just form a line in front of the king.
your
Really, but
transgressions and the fact that you took it in upon yourself to act against Lord Davis and plan on assassination is one thing that I cannot abide by a lord of this realm. Your opinion on the matter should have been brought to my attention, so me and you could have had a discussion on your opinion and thoughts, and whatever information that you had would have been discussed during that time. The fact that you were going to act upon your own behalf because of your disagreements is still considered treason against this realm. You act on my behalf to rule the Vale. And it is through that power and understanding of the situation that your discretion and your actions were not of caliber that I expect and hold when it comes to a leader of this realm. Everything else that was discussed during the trial does not hold any weight. There's no proper evidence was brought forth, and character statements and other statements do not hold any weight. But because of your actions and your status as Lord of the Vale, I do find you guilty of treason. Your judgment upon your request will be to be escorted to Castle Black, to take the vows and serve out term until your death, or you will be executed here.
Wonder what
in
you'll
front of
actually
the throne.
choose.
You'll have 2 minutes to make your decision.
This might be interesting what he picks, actually.
I demand trial by combat.
Oh, see, I knew it. I
Gusto
knew it.
Rock has someone to answer that call.
I think you should be allowed it.
I will not permit trial by combat. Your options are as follows. Take the black or execution.
By the gods. Demanding a
I will
man
take
by
the
trial by
black.
combat.
Igor!
Enough.
I will take the black.
Very well. The judgment of this court is Lord Igor will be escorted by the 4 knights that you see in front of you, and the member of the Night's Watch that is here today. Lord Igor, make sure your permissions and your keys are given to the right person until a decision can be made for new leadership of the Vale.